Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric awoke with a sigh when Sloan was reading Marlena's obituary in the Peterson apartment. Some of the stuff in here is pretty wild. I think that the Spectator needs some better fact-checkers. Sloan responded by arguing. I'm sure it's all true. The paper's owned by our family's friend, says Eric. But it says something in here about your mom being a serial killer. I mean, that is a libel suit in itself, Sloan insisted, causing Eric to start a round of sacks as a distraction. Gabby strode around the Hernandez kitchen, ending up a phone call with Will. If you need me to pick up Ari, please let me know, Gabby said before hanging up the phone, just as someone knocked on the front door. Gabby was annoyed to learn that the guest was Wendy. Wendy, clutching a bouquet of lilies, started, I just wanted to come by and apologize again. Anything else? Gabby snapped before beginning to slam the front door shut. Wendy held the door wide as she told Gabby that keeping Lee's secret had been agonizing and that it was such a huge relief to finally know the truth. What if it hadn't? Gabby asked. I don't know, Wendy acknowledged. Gabby shook her head and scoffed in astonishment. I only wanted Lee to be happy. And you made him joyful than anyone else in his life. And I couldn't take it away because he's my older brother and I adore him, Wendy explained. Fine, I accept your apology, Gabby concluded after some consideration. Really? Wendy sputtered. Want me to change my mind? Gabby teased before accepting the flowers, admitting that they were a lovely touch. I thought they could be a peace offering, Wendy reasoned. I would have preferred a designer handbag, but I do love lilies, Gabby admitted before moving aside to allow Wendy to enter the house. Gabby collected a vase while telling Wendy that Stefan was initially eager to look at ways to counteract the brainwashing but has now decided against it. Gabby admitted to being at least partially responsible for Stefan's change of heart and began to tell Wendy the entire tale. For the first time after Stefan came back to life, he was actually nice to me, sympathetic, almost caring. Gabby raved throughout the story. Except he also told me that his feelings for that cow Chloe Lane are also real, says Gabby. And when he found out what I did, that I would even turn to Marlena, Gabby attempted to conclude. He was angry? Wendy speculated. Gabby groaned and advised Wendy that repulsed was a better term to describe Stefan's thoughts about the situation. It's like Stefan doesn't know me at all. He thinks I'm this completely cruel, selfish person. Gabby summarized. You can't let what he said upset you, Wendy suggested. He only said it because, well, he hates me because of the brainwashing, but if he just got deprogrammed, he'd still love me, but if he still hates me, he's never gonna get deprogrammed, so, I'm stuck. Gabby grumbled. It's too bad you can't make him do it, Wendy remarked. Get a court order? Gabby translated. I don't know, maybe not, Wendy backed up. Wendy acknowledged that Gabby was no longer married to Stefan and would thus have difficulty persuading a judge to intervene. Wendy argued that Gabby could be more successful arranging an actual intervention for Stefan. Make it all about him, like how doing this could give him back control of his thoughts, his feelings, his life, she said. Yeah, but even if Stefan gave consent, well, I'd still be stuck, because Marlena's gone, Rolf's in the wind, and we have nobody else to fix the damage, so Gabby pushed back. I never expected Gabby Hernandez to give up, Wendy responded. I don't have a choice, Gabby explained with a sigh as Wendy exited the house. Lee gets a call from Rolf while alone at the Salem Inn. You need more Petri dishes? Lee stuttered before sighing and promising to meet Rolf's every desire as long as their continuous relationship remained secret. Someone knocked on the hotel room door just then, causing Lee to say her goodbyes to Rolf. I was just on my way to the office, Lee began, slightly perplexed when he realized the visitor was EJO. Then I've spared you the journey. EJ answered before dismissing Lee. Let me be clear, I'm going to remain in my position as your number 2, with your enthusiastic support, unless, of course, you want Stefan to find out about. Lee pushed back. He already knows, EJ responded. Lee was shocked to find that EJ had confessed and Stefan had forgiven the betrayal. Lee quickly recovered and reminded EJ that the company's chairman of the board was Shin, not DiMera. EJ laughed off Lee's threat, emphasizing that the company's name was DiMera Enterprises. As CEO, I have every right to make this decision, which I'm confident will receive widespread support, and I can always rely on my voting bloc if necessary. Bottom line, whether you end up in prison is debatable, whether you have a job is not. Good luck with your future endeavors. Oh, and, Lee, let this be a lesson for you. You don't cross a DiMera and get away with it, EJ said before leaving. Allie gave Chanel the silent treatment when they were eating breakfast at the Horton apartment. We need to talk, Chanel eventually said. Fine talk, Allie responded tiredly. Chanel insisted that Allie had misread Johnny's actions the night before. I was just comforting him, Chanel repeated. I know that line. I used that line on Tripp when you and I had sex behind his back, she said. Allie demanded respect and honesty, causing Chanel to reveal that what began as a comforting gesture for Johnny almost ended with a kiss. It just happened in the heat of the moment, Chanel attempted to explain. What does that even mean? Allie sputtered. It means nothing. Okay, Allie. I'm in love with you. I selected you. Chanel insisted, the only reason I went to the hospital in the first place was to be there for you. But, to almost kiss somebody, that means that there's attraction there, she said. Do you want to talk about chemistry? Well, how about you and Alex? Chanel replied. You're not gonna turn this back around on me. Allie objected. Chanel pointed out that Johnny and Allie weren't the only ones going through unpleasant experiences at the time. Maybe I need some comforting, too. Chanel argued, prompting a scoff from Allie. I lost both of my grandmothers right before walking in on my twin brother about to shove his tongue down my girlfriend's throat. Allie retorted before storming out to another room, unable to pretend that Chanel's legal problems were on the same level. Johnny went over to the Brady Johnson townhome in search of Tripp. Sorry, I just dropped in like this. I hope I didn't interrupt breakfast, Johnny said as Tripp opened the townhouse door. No, my dad just went out to talk to the priest about Kayla's service, and Steph and Joey went with him, Tripp said before stepping aside to allow Johnny to enter the townhouse. I just wanted to come and apologize, Johnny explained. That means a lot, Tripp acknowledged. Tripp admitted that Johnny had every right to be unhappy with Ava. I adore her, but I'm also well aware that she's done some pretty terrible things. She's sick, and I kick myself every day for not being here, for not understanding how serious it was, and for not getting her the assistance she needed sooner, Tripp emphasized before telling Johnny that Ava had been sent to Bayview and had no chance of being discharged anytime soon. I'm sorry. Between that and losing Kayla, you're having a pretty rough time, too, said Johnny. We're good, Tripp said Johnny, who exhaled a sigh of relief and dashed away.